document, Matt, and it's about this guy. Tragic happened, an accident, and he should have died, but he's. If you would, please be respectful of everybody else.
You might not know my story, but if you do,
take it real soon. You know we got what you need, babe. I said we got what you need, honey. Come and groove along. Come on. Rolling on the highway, ease up. Wow.
growing up in the back, skateboarding, boating, snowboarding. At a young age, we moved to Florida. Between catching Before I knew it, all my dreams came true. One of the biggest brands. I couldn't really put my finger on it, but my life felt somewhat selfish, kind of meaningless. I thought adventure was losing its satisfaction. Up to this point in my life, I'd never adventures. I knew my limits and calculated the risks.
Toe Jam, we've got the top all over.
Times I knew the lake well. The lake was shaped like an hourglass, and as
He's setting up for his last trick line.
And I saw everybody on the dock fell, and it wasn't. I immediately hopped in my truck and just floored it down. Swelling hadn't started yet in from the rocks, and I was terrified because I thought he was going to die. You guys can go back and he'd just woken up, and I just saw him.
my skull was shattered, my jaw, my tailbone, and hand were broken. Rebar punctured my leg.
I walked in there for the first time and just caught his eye, and he was awake, and he just looked at me and gave me.
Life was back on track. Look at my artery.
Yeah, Matt came out, and he hadn't ridden in like 6 months. And it was like, wasn't even a week after Matt's like, all right, it's time for me to waste. Had the accident at all. He just was riding just as good.
Florida boy, hot-blooded through and through. He's here for competition. That man away.
I don't know that there was a defining together because everything was.
Matthew, he would look at something he wanted to do, whether it was daredevilish or not. That goes back to a very young age.
Hi, baby! I bet you're right. How about that? I know Matthew.
I was waking up from a coma. Over 12,000 volts means it burned. At a minimum, found reach had exploded and suffered the most.
Your brain can't comprehend like a living soul. So you're
Black. He was just screaming.
Or what's next? They
Go away before my eyes and you see, and but I told him to see how a person could look like that.
Surgeries, you feel helpless, you know, of what I can handle.
Hearing me to say, hey, he's never gonna see.
We have people dead. The news, my friends. The waiting room became my room was more like a prison. It's sometimes
I could see his fingers twitch a little. Contact again. Opportunity to ever hold my son's hand. When that's all he wanted.
And he had very large open wounds, basically down shoulders and chest. And we took him to the operating room that first. Pretty impressive.
How could this person be off? I didn't know how I was going to handle it.
With most of the muscles in my upper body dying, the surgeries were to cut 3 times a day. They would have to scrub on top of pain. Only my dad
be tortured. That's what it is. It's
walls were filled with her. I was fueled.
You know, and then all of a sudden, and then you start seeing people.
You're in a hospital room for months. Those 4 walls become a forget the first time I was able to give someone a hug. This wasn't allowed yet. I hit my legs. I didn't feel like a machine. I didn't feel like just a I felt real. Like wind. Weeks became months. Hurdles overcame.
Than a lot of patients that I've ever had. Not one time did he say, like, that made me want to work. Our goal was to set up little goals for him to dance with Bobby. A little bit more, help me a little.
Miserable, bitter, defeated person. I'm gonna take the pain and the surgeries away. So, let's change the reality that this might be it. Fighting with everything I have. And at least if I died, my focus, my hope was becoming all that I had. It's hard to see a light at the end of the tunnel. It feels lonely enough. Having my world flipped upside down twice wasn't about me. I felt so much love, overwhelming, bleeding. Could have helped, yet standing idle, choose. The love my dad has for me, does that even compare to him? My scars don't compare to his. It's unconditional. His power, I'm a new creation. I realized. Struck. Was in shambles. You were. I'm sorry for the burden you had to carry. I'm sorry at the end of the tunnel, knowing we will never will be. Bigger picture. We are all part of a you tell your story through us. If only we could see beyond our walls, we'd see the creator of it all. You.
Pretty incredible story, right? And kind of a heavy story at the same time when you see what Matt has gone through. And I'm actually going to ask the band to come up and start getting ready. We kind of flip things around tonight on purpose, and I want to read to you a quick verse. Because this story that we just watched about Matt, you know, it's called Miracle Matt, and Matt is the focus, but it's really actually not a story about Matt. It's a story about God. And the lesson for us tonight as we're talking about fear and being fearless, the lesson for us through Matt's story is a lesson on the faithfulness of God. And we see in Matt's life how it's going up and down in this incredible roller coaster of circumstances. They kind of skim over in the beginning, but Matt was a professional athlete. He was touring around the world competing in the sport of wake skating, and he was one of the best in the whole world. I mean, he's at the top of his sport, of his dream, and then he falls and his face is destroyed. They said when they x-rayed his face, it looked like it was Rice Krispies because all the bones were just shattered. So all the way down to this terrible time, and then he's able to come back from that, and he gets back on a wake skate, and he's back competing, and he's back in this world, and then he's electrocuted while he's volunteering at his church, trimming branches. And he got a little too close to a power line, and the electricity arced out of the power line and into the basket that he was on and electrocuted him. So we see these circumstances in Matt's life that are just so extreme. But the message is the faithfulness of God. Irregardless of the circumstances, the faithfulness of God remains true. And that's the lesson for us, is as we look at the circumstances in our life, and certainly there are things that we're fearful, the circumstances that we are encountering every day, and maybe you guys have never had anything crazy like that happen to you, but there's still circumstances that we wake up and we look at and we face with fear. But the faithfulness of God gives us the strength we need to not be afraid of those circumstances. I'm going to read a couple verses out of the book of Lamentations, and then I'm going to turn it over to Ryan, and we're going to kind of sing and worship together. Here's what it says in Lamentations, chapter 3. My misery, my sorrow and trouble, please remember me and think about me. But I have hope when I think of this. The Lord's love never ends. His mercies never stop. They are new every morning. Lord, your loyalty is great. I say to myself, the Lord is mine, so I hope in him. And that in verse 23 it says, his mercies never stop. They are new every morning. Lord, your loyalty is great. Another word there is faithfulness. Lord, great is your faithfulness. And that's the story. That's the whole story of what we just saw from Matt. The circumstances change, but the faithfulness of God never does. And that's our lifeline. That's what keeps us going. That's where we can sink our anchor deep in the middle of those crazy waves in life.
Let's stand and sing a couple of songs.
You've overcome this world with love and made my fight your own. I lift my and sing out into the night. 'Cause even when the wars rage, I'll take heart. I know you are greater, forever your Savior. I will sing your with all that I have, with all that I am, Lord. All the way the time, I'll still my soul and know you wait for me on waters wide. The storm darkness beat me down, singing the night, my hope alive in you. I'll walk through the fire and not be burned, praying the fire and watch it turn. Jesus, tonight, even when the fire goes, even when the wars rage, I'll take my life. You will pray, forever you will Savior. Sing your praise with all that I have, with all that I am, with all that I have, with all that I am, darkness beat me down, singing the night, my hope alive in you. I'll walk through the fire and not be burned, pray in the fight and watch it turn. Jesus, tonight I give it all to you. I won't let the storm within my sing in the night. I'll walk through the fire, Jesus, tonight.
it's different to sing those songs. I mean, it kind of puts a little more weight onto what we're saying, or see how he took care of sing in response. That's kind of the plan. I hope it was a powerful thing. As we get ready for the 4th of July today. You guys look awesome, by the way. Red, white, and blue. The socks, the flags have anywhere. It is going to be, we're going to all be down here by the boathouse, the basketball court right over the lake in this direction. It's going to be like 10 on the other side watching. And for they go off tonight. Word of life tonight. All right. When the first firework goes off. Also, during the red, white, and blue, that's what you got to do on the 4th of July. It's going to be down here by the boathouse, and going to be open because we want everybody down here where they can be checking out the firework. That's not all. At 10 p.m., as long as the fireworks here for the Island Comedy Night, ladies and gentlemen. I hear you laugh. That is going to be the sound of tonight. Hilarious. Literally going to be one giant joke in here tonight. Late night comedy tonight. Later than normal, all right? There is Thursday night, all right? So we're playing. There is not that good. Tomorrow, because it's Tourist Day. Dressed as a tourist. Fanny, have a cheer ready if you want to win Cabin of the Week. All right. That's it for our announcements. Tonight the Rock's not going to be open. Everybody's going to be hanging out down at the fireworks show. You guys are awesome. Cut. You already...